guys, it's Rebecca Garner, Garner Financial Coaching here again. This week's episode, I am talking about protecting your finances. This is a big issue for me because when I worked in financial aid at a university, I dealt with a lot of identity thefts, and it was so frustrating. They were not nice, and a lot of times they were getting away with stealing people's identities and taking out thousands of dollars of student loans and Pell Grants out of people's names that weren't even students of ours. So I also remember the time where I was working at the university, and I was right next door in my apartment complex, and there was this man that it was like 6 a.m. in the morning. I remember it because it was the first time I had my dog, my little toy poodle Maggie, and it was my first morning walk with her, and I was so excited, and I got her out of my apartment, and I was walking down the sidewalk, and I get near the mailboxes, and no joke, there was a rough-looking guy digging through all of the mailbox trash can, looking at envelopes and going like this, and then stacking it. And he walked away with a full stack of envelopes that had been thrown away, mail that had been thrown away, which is completely illegal, and I believe it's a federal offense. So I reported it to the apartment complex and was begging them to put a lock over the trash can and like a little slot so that didn't ever happen. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. So this is why it's to my heart. I don't want to see people's identities stolen, because it actually happens pretty often for people. And these are just 7 tips that I have that can help you guys if you may not know about these, and this is why I'm mentioning them. You might already know these tips, but some people don't, and that's why I'm doing it for those that don't. Number 1, freezing your credit score. Freezing your credit is a way to protect yourself from fraud. And the reason why it doesn't hurt, it doesn't cost anything. You can call the credit bureau, request a credit freeze on your credit score, and what will happen is that anybody trying to take out credit in your name, they will have to get that unlocked, and which is impossible to do unless you're the actual person. So this is a great way to protect yourself from getting any kind of loans, or even having a credit check that is unauthorized. This is just a great way for you to protect yourself, and it's free. So you can leave it this way. You can leave your credit score frozen, and then when you are interested and you're trying to get something, or you have to have your credit checked, you just call them up and they can unfreeze it pretty quickly. So it's no harm. It's great. It's probably the best way to protect yourself. Number 2 is budget. Use Mint to set up a free budget. And the reason why I say this is that when you know where your money's going, you will be less vulnerable to people taking out money out of your account that you don't realize. Another one is to check your bank account often. Receipts. I've seen this pretty often, even myself, where especially going out to eat, people will swipe your card and either increase, even if you give a great tip to them, they might increase it, or charge you. There's little sneaky ways that people learn and have done stuff that are not ethical. in charging people. So just be aware of what you're charging on your bank account. And I've had multiple times where people, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have too, but I've had a lot of times where people have stolen my um, debit card information, even where I don't even know how in the world they got it. I mean, literally never went to that area, have no idea. And they have charged things. So it's always very, very wise to just keep an eye out every week. Keep an eye out, check to make sure that your charges on your bank account are what you have charged, because I've seen charges from the red box to Dunkin' Donuts to like a huge $200 a charge on a Walmart. And sometimes your bank will catch it, but sometimes they won't. And one time I actually had an essential oils company. I don't know how they got my information, but they charged about $400 of oils and they were sending it to that person who I don't even know who it is. But so this is why you definitely want to make sure what's going on in your account, and budgeting is a great way. If you don't have a online banking account, well, most likely you do, so I suggest that you use it frequently. You open that up and you check it frequently. And like I said, mint.com is a free resource for budgeting and is great to know about what's going on, and will alert you with also charges. So if you have if you're going out of a certain amount of your budget, it'll let you know, hey, also with income and like an extreme amount of income, it'll let you know, which is great to know. Or you know, your funding is getting close to a low limit, it'll also notify you. So that's why I love mint.com, because it's a free resource and it works great for notifying you on your phone, almost real time, if you have everything up to date with login passwords and stuff like that. So number 4, fraud alert identity theft monitoring. Most people, you've heard all the commercials. This is pretty helpful to have. There are times that you probably should get this. Thankfully, I mean, not thankfully, but I have had it to where I don't have to pay for it a lot of times, because I get a notification from another company that they have said that my information has gotten exposed, or been released, and through their fault. And so I have 1 to 2 years of this identity theft protection. So it's just really safe to have. And not only that, I know that if any of y'all have gone through the ending of a relationship where your finances are together, or you're connected in some way, it is a great safety just to have as just an extra added way of knowing that your social is not being compromised, and if somebody is not trying to take out a loan in your name, or you just never know. Sometimes relationships don't end well, and so this is a great way to protect yourself, and even from people that you don't know. So, and that happens all the time. Just like I said, with my first experience in financial aid, it happened a lot, and it's just so sad to hear the actual victim call and say, "I never contacted you guys. I don't know how this happened, and now my credit is screwed up." And these people basically used me and left me, just ruined my credit. So This is a great way to protect your identity and your credit. And yeah. So number 5 is changing passwords. Change passwords often. Also, this is one thing that I learned pretty not too long ago, actually, because I assume that iPhones are one of the most secure and safest um, mobile device. I thought, oh, okay, I'm safe here. It's not safe to to keep your passwords on your phone. It's not secure as much as I thought. I had actually a Chinese number. Somebody hacked into my iPhone not too long ago. I think it was probably a year or two ago, and it kind of shook me because I thought my secure iPhone was great. Nobody would hack into it. That's what I had heard, was that iPhones are really secure and don't have those issues, but it's not the case. So I suggest not just making sure also what apps you have on your phone. Some apps are just more compromised. We know about that. A lot of people know about the TikTok issue of the TikTok app, where it just was not secure. People had downloaded it on their phones and they were giving away personal information. I know Facebook is another app that is very iffy of what they're selling your information for, who's getting your information, and just because it's not in the United States doesn't mean that you're protected or safe. At all. Actually, you could probably be more at risk of your identity being stolen if you're using an app that is international, because we don't know where what these people are doing with our information, how they could get around using your identity and your credit. So I suggest be careful with that. Be careful with what apps you have. I really just say, change passwords often, and also just be alert of what you're using on your phone, and then also what apps you're using. So as far as identity stuff. All right, number 6. This was one that I mentioned earlier with the identity theft man that was going through the mailboxes. I have I first shred your junk mail, shred your email, your mail that you don't like, or that you don't care for, but might have personal information on it. If you don't have a shredder, this is a great little stamp. And what I have made the practice of doing, which I will actually show you guys, is that you cross. This is my notes. Basically, it will cover up any personal information. It's very easy. You can get this on Amazon for, I think, a couple bucks. Actually, another YouTuber that I was watching mentioned this little hack, and I am so thankful for this. It's a great way to just protect yourself, just an added security for your finances and your identity. Also, another thing is open up that junk mail that you think might be junk mail. I have at times I get annoyed with extra mail and papers because I just don't like unsolicited any kind of paperwork, and so a lot of times I would have the habit of just tossing it without even opening it. And one time I opened mine and it was actually checks from my bank account with my name on it. They just decided they wanted to give me some checks. I think it was a part of my credit card. And yeah, I got pretty upset about that. I called them and requested they never do it again. Because I didn't request it. I didn't know it was coming. And so there were just checks sitting in a envelope hanging out on my desk. And if I had tossed it, somebody could have used those and probably gotten away with it for a little bit if I hadn't checked. So yeah, just be careful, be aware of what your banks are sending you. I didn't even expect them. I just didn't even know that they were actual checks. So anyways, okay, number 7. This is the last one. Know the subscriptions you're paying for and keep track of who is using them. And if they are needed, get rid of them. If they aren't needed, get rid of them. If they're needed, use them. But just be aware that you could have subscriptions that are being charged every now and then, and you didn't know that you were signing up a renewal. That's constantly happening. I know a lot more with apps. Just be aware. This will protect your accounts in multiple ways. First, if somebody else is using it and they're charging extra charges on it, you need to be aware of that so that you're not getting charged for things that you're not using. And also, if you're not using the app and you've gone within like 6 to 9 months and you're still not using it and you're being charged, you need to just cancel it, and you can always resubscribe later if you are more interested. I know in the past when I was about, I think 19, I had a gym membership that I never went to, and it was always in good intentions that I kept paying for it, but it was a lot of money for me to be paying for something that I was not invested in time-wise, and it was not on my priority list, obviously. So, and that is actually one reason why I haven't signed up for a gym recently, is that I just like running outside, and I have found other ways that I want to make sure that I'm committed first to actually do the exercise, then actually pay for something. So just because you pay for something does not mean that you're committed. So I just want to say, like, make sure you're committed to that subscription, that you're actually putting time into it, and you're using it. Otherwise, don't be paying for something that you're not using. It just doesn't make sense. You can save that money and you can apply it for to something else, even to savings. And then later on, if you start using it again or you want to use it again, then if you have a savings for it, then you got it covered to pay for. So those are my 7 tips for this week. I hope that you guys have a great week. I am back in Florida for now. It is a very warm day, and I actually am about to go run outside. So I hope that you guys have a great weekend. All right, bye.